What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Please make sure y'all comment, man. Um, so this is my first time in a long time going live. Um, been busy with some other things that I've been working on, and that I've been doing. So, as you guys just saw, uh, I will be working on this new live stream as well as my new podcast called The Release. Um, and so for the longest time, man, I've been in this audio and visual world, um, as well as just the entrepreneurship world, and working on ways to uh, make things more streamlined, working on ways to make things um, more efficient and more proficient for people that are around me. As you guys know, I am the CEO of Eway Productions. And our main motto is that you're able to express yourselves in any way that you see fit. Um, the second kind of thought process behind the E-Way is exactly what it sounds like, the expressway, right? And so I tell anybody, the minute you're driving on a normal street, you get onto your on ramp, um, and then you begin to get onto that expressway. First thing you do is you look to make sure that there's nothing else coming, um, and then you immediately accelerate. And that's exactly what we want to do here at the E-Way. We want to help you um, accelerate your creativity, accelerate your mindset, accelerate all of those things that you've been thinking about doing, that you've been wanting to do, um, and you may not necessarily know how, or you do know how, and you just need a little push to help get you there, and to help forward you into these processes. And so I've developed uh, a few different criteria, or a few different programs here with the E-Way. And this is just one of them. The release is going to be one of the things that I work on, and that I help try to push to the next generation. As you guys know, I have children, and I believe in teaching and helping the youth manifest the things that they have that are inside of them. And so the reason that I've called this the release is I oftentimes have a lot of different phone calls with a lot of great people. Um, and a lot of times we'll sit and we'll have conversations, and then they'll ask me the next day, like, "Hey, Stefan, what was that you said about this? Or what did you say about that? Or I remember you said something, and for the life of me, y'all, I could not remember what it was that I said. I'm not really exactly sure. I'm not sure why I couldn't remember. Um, and then it finally came to me. I sat back one day in my prayers, and um, God revealed it to me. It wasn't for me, so I didn't have it to remember, because that information, or that talk that we had wasn't for me. It was for them. And so the name The Release came out of that exact thought. Being able to actually release information, to you all, to the youth, to whoever it is that I come in contact with. Um, you know, the phrase gatekeeping has been going around for quite some time now, and it happens. There's some people that have accumulated knowledge over the years of how to and what to do, and they've kind of held it to themselves, for fear of someone else kind of taking over, or someone taking their spot, or taking their place. None of that is going to happen here. There is no back, and you can reference some of this stuff as well. Um, but again, I will not be gatekeeping. I will not be holding on to any information. Whatever it is that you guys would like to know, reach out to me and ask me. Um, Try my best to look up at the camera. My laptop is slightly lower than it, so I apologize for that, y'all. I'm still getting used to this. So by all means, shoot me over some tips and tricks. If the audio isn't sounding great, let me know about that. If it is sounding great, let me know that as well. I want this to be as interactive as possible. Um, I want you guys to be just as a part of this as I am. And so today, what I'm going to be working on is I have a show coming up on Saturday. It's a pretty big show. We're over at Esperanza. We're partnering up with Wild Wild Welcome America. And so a lot of you guys know how big that showcase is. It's all around Philadelphia. the week prior to July 4th. Leading up, they have little spot shows all over the city. And so I'm being tasked with handling two different bands, providing full AV support for this staging and all. And so I just wanted to walk you guys through how I prep myself for it. Friday would be our official prep day where we go in with our pull sheets, and we pull exactly what it is that we're going to need for this event: backline, audio, cables, the whole 9 yards. Hopefully, I'll have someone following me around to go live for that as well, so that you guys can actually see that process as well. I don't want to just tell you guys about it now and then you don't actually see it. So I want you guys to see how that's done, just in case that's something that you're looking to get into later on in life. If you're ever looking to get into production, you can have that knowledge for yourselves. So let's get right into it, y'all. So part of my prep day is working on this exact thing here. So this is the stage plot that was given to me by, sorry, this is the stage plot that was given to me by La Luz del Sol. This is their stage plot, which includes a few monitors. It's about 5 monitors in total. Bass guitar, congas, bongos, trombones. You know, it's a pretty large band, which is going to be very, very fun. You guys know I love big band things. I love that big sound. So this is going to be fun. And so what I do is I try to create a scene for them and already have that scene set inside of, hopefully you guys can see my arrow. Yeah. So I'll try to have this set scene or this scene set inside of my audio console, so that when I arrive on scene or when I arrive to location, I don't actually have to sit there and go, okay, where's my show file or what's my inputs or this or that, and then try to write it all in at the last minute. So I've already begun. If you guys can see it here. Oh no, this is the wrong one. Berkeley percussion. Yep, this is the wrong file. Okay, give me 1 second. I don't know why it loaded up the wrong mixer. All right, here we go. So, if you guys are looking at my first input is my lead vocalist. So all of these are vocals. So what I'll do is I will let myself know that this is vocals by just putting Vox at the end of it. And all of these inputs are exactly according to what is being supplied by the band. And so we have our lead vocal, our piano vocal, our percussionist 1, 2, and 3, and then our bassist will be singing as well. So he gets a vocal mic, as well as his bass DI. And then channel 8 input, as seen on the list here, they have piano DI going in mono. And so piano DI is here. My conga left and right, I'm going to keep him on channels 9 and 10 because I can actually stereo link those two. And then my input 11 and 12 is going to be bongos. So I'm just going to name that. And so a lot of this gets me prepared for the show because when I show up, I'm able to um sorry, I am able to basically just load this scene right into the console and be able to kind of get things going. Looks good, man. Looks good. Cool. Um, Mike, what's going on, man? By the way, Timbali's left and right will be next. And so, of course, I don't want to keep them the same color. So I typically try to just go down the color list, or I think of something that kind of reminds me of what the instrument is. Um, and so to me, most timbales are normally like silver in color. So I'll choose gray, which this may be a little hard to see on show day. So I may go white. That's something else you have to keep in mind too, guys. This stuff is digital, and so you don't want to have it where the sun is blaring on your console and you're unable to um, see the names of what you put in because that's happened. So try to stay away from like the darker color things. Um, the blacks you won't see at all, so you won't even see what name you're working on. Let's see, Timbales and Cabana overhead is going to be on 15. So I'm gonna put Tim. I'll just do OVR. All right. And since that's gonna live with my Timbales, I'll keep it white. And then I'll walk you through DCA groups and buses and all of that stuff. Um, as for right now, we're just gonna just make sure that we have all the inputs in, and then I want to get into showing you guys how I start prepping myself mentally to EQ some of these things. Were you guys able to see the input list? Does it come up? Okay, yeah, I see it. So now 16 should be kick drum. Seventeen through. Let me just go back and look. 17 and 18 is trumpet 1 and 2, and then we have trombone 1 and 2. So trumpet and then trombone. So trumpet 1. And then I really want to trying to hurry and get through this so I can show y'all the sauce, man. I gotta show y'all this sauce that's coming up, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna help change a lot of you guys' lives that are into AV or into engineering. Trombone 1. Oh, I didn't hear that. And the reason that I'm coloring them slightly the same is because if you look at the stage plot, they're going to be living in the same area along with the baritone. So baritone sax is going to come up for channel 21. And so he'll have the same kind of coloration as them as well. Just so that when I'm looking down at the console, it makes it easier for me to mentally picture where they are. I can just look at the colors and go, oh, okay, this group is together. The same thing with my bongos and my congas. They are all living literally right next to each other on the stage plot. Just another little hidden gem, guys. Another little tip and trick. And this was my berry. So baritone will be there. And then we have Trace DI. Electric guitar. And this was a nylon guitar. So just add a little color separation in between these two. I'll go with red since I've only used red on my Vox, which is at the beginning of everything. Nothing back here is remotely close to that. All right, y'all. So let me see. Matter of fact, let me go check and see how many people I have on here before I get into this sauce. I got one person, man. Come on, we could do a little bit better. Let me get some people in here before I get into this sauce. Cause I'm telling y'all, this is gonna be something that's gonna really, really, really up your game as audio people, as singers, as musicians, just overall. This is something that everybody can take and use. I'm gonna run through it quickly. And then you guys make sure that you like and subscribe so that I can actually send you out the file itself. I told y'all, it's no gatekeeping over here. This is part one of the release where I'm starting to release information to everybody. Matter of fact, let me remind you all of why we are here. Let me go ahead and play this back for you guys again. It's the release. All right. We are breaking up all of this junk, all of this mess that we've been going through before, where people was just not helping us, not giving us information, all because they was afraid. We breaking all of that mess up, man. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I have coming up on my stage plot, if you guys remember, was vocals. You guys look at it. I have about 4 to 5. I have 6 vocalists coming up. So let's get into that real quick. So if I was to sit here and let's just say, you know, I love teaching the youth again. Let me get back to making sure you guys remember everything that I'm doing. I'm not saying that I know it all. I'm saying that we are in a space where I'm able to teach and we're able to learn. And so, see, these are some of the things that I learned along the way, and that I'm able to teach to some of the youth that come through me under E-Way, under Esperanza, under any nonprofit organization that I work with and that I help out. And so if I was to sit here and look at my cheat sheet, I guess you would call it, or my tips sheet is what I call them for vocals. The vocal sound is sometimes determined by how loud the vocal is in the mix. For genres where the vocals are in the front of the music, like pop, vocals tend to be fuller sounding than genres like rock, where the vocals is pulled back in the mix to give the music more power. So here's a tip. Male and female vocals are different and require different EQ approaches. Generally, the EQ points are a little higher for women. Meaning, of course, as you guys hear inside of my vocal, I have a lot of bass inside of my vocal. And so I won't need as much high presence as a female vocalist. And so here's some of my magic frequencies that I often look into, and that I always kind of source back to if need be. Is the fullness is at around 120 hertz, boom is at 240, Presence is at 2K to 5 hertz. Syllabus or syllabants, I'm sorry, 4K to 7 kilohertz, and then that airy sound is around 10K to 15 kilohertz. And so these are just some little, some of them. I'm running through this real quick, y'all. We all seen this happen before. You get a rapper, you get a preacher, you get somebody that was taught wrong how to handle a microphone. First thing they do is they cup their hands around it. And so this diagram shows exactly what happens. The hand surrounds the microphone head, which makes the resonance more distinct. The major resonance is found around 2 kilohertz. However, at 3 to 4 kilohertz, resonance are also created due to the cavity in front of the microphone. You are literally creating that cavity right around that microphone. I wish I had an example here with me, but all of my mics are packed up right now. But because I have this chart, I can actually see right around where things are going to get a little wonky for me, for my microphone, due to that hand being over it. And because I've seen this and I know this to be true, I've already, in most of my EQs, I correct this situation. And so when we go through a sound check and I see that person is about to grab their hand and wrap their hand around that microphone, I already know, okay, let me go to start looking at 2K and around 3 to 4K to see what's going to happen there in my frequency range, to see how it's going to respond. A lot of people do that because they get a lot of mid-tones out of this. They're able to actually just to them, they sound clearer. To us as audio engineers, it sounds horrible because of the tone that it actually creates. It takes away all the work that we've done pre-show. Because they take away from all of those highs. We like to have clarity inside of our vocals. And the minute that you start to cup that microphone around, now your highs are going to start screaming at you because you basically put them inside of a tunnel. And so next up on my list was the bass guitarist. And so, like I said, y'all, moving through this real quick. So bass guitar, the difficulty with EQing the bass guitar lies in the fact that it usually EQs too low, below 100 hertz, leading to the conflict with the kick while not being heard on small speakers. Look to the upper bass area, 120 to 320 hertz, for a more present and defined low end. And so magic frequencies for girth is around 50 to 80. Bass tones are around 100 to 320. Attack normally lives around 700. And then that snap is right around about 2.5K. And so, like I said, guys, I'm moving through this real quick. If you would like a copy of these, make sure that you subscribe, message me, let me know that you guys want it, and I can send it out to you. So next up would be our congas. And I'm all of this stuff I'm referencing back to the stage plot that I showed you guys earlier, and just kind of going down the list of things of how I prep and how I get myself mentally ready for the show. So my congas add motion to a track, and by their very nature can easily take over without some EQ adjustments. Tip: the resonant frequency of the drum can sometimes be overwhelming. Boost 6 dB and sweep the frequencies between 200 to 400 to find it, and then cut it to taste. That tone that they're talking about can sometimes take over the same exact presence where the vocals live. They both live inside of that mid range. And so a lot of times what'll happen is that conga player will start to play, and then doom, 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 doom. That actually, even in my vocal, it'll take over the same frequency band or the same frequency space that my vocal is living at. And I'll show you guys that when I show you the magic sheet. And then so the ring, we have about 200 to 300. Attack is at 1.5, and the slap is right around 5K. That nice little pop that they have on the edge of that conga lives right there at about 5K. And so what I'll do is sometimes I'll go in and I'll start to preset my conga EQ with knowing that. With knowing that small little bit of information. And so I won't do it now. This is something that I'll do off camera, or something that I'll do at a later date. When I actually really do a full-on master class that I'll probably end up recording and releasing, rather than doing it live. I'll only do these live just to kind of give you guys some insight on kind of what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking it in between me doing these courses. And so again, this is just some small little snippets, y'all. I don't want to give y'all too much. too much sauce while we're here. Um, and so I won't go through all of these, but what I will do is I will pull up the magic sheet for you guys. So here's magic frequency in chart form. Some people like charts, some people like graphs. I'll show it to you in two different ways. And by all means, reach out to me and I can get these over to you. And so it, of course, starts off with our bass guitar, kick drum, snare, ragtoms, hi-hats and cymbals, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, organ, piano, horns, vocal, strings, congas, and percussions. Um, Pretty much covers a mass majority of most bands that you're running to. When it comes time for you to actually have to start EQing and getting yourself set and ready for these things, and ready for these shows. And then the second magic sheet is for us musicians that like to see things a little more stretched out, a little more laid out. Um, and so it goes from C1 all the way down to C10, um, in which a lot of these frequencies are found on the piano. And so guys that are getting into this to study it, you can start training your ear to hear these frequencies simply by playing the piano. You don't have to sit there and have a console. You don't have to have something crazy and you're like, oh, I need to push this frequency so I can hear where it is. No, not at all. If I wanted to sit here and listen for 2K, I can know exactly where to go at on the piano and pull that out, which is right around C6. I'm sorry, C7. I was almost wrong there. And so right in that area, I can start playing and I can start finding myself training my ears and training myself to hear these tones that will actually be created during a show or from the room or just in anything in general. You start to kind of find your way through it. And instead of just finding your way through it, this chart helps you actually know exactly where things are going to be. And so even if we look at the piano spans from 27.5 all the way up to 4,186 hertz. And so it spans a pretty vast majority of your frequency spectrum. And again, so remember I was telling you guys about the vocals and the congas. Congas isn't represented on here, but if we go back to conga, right between 200 and 400 hertz. If I go and I look at my vocal, especially for me being a tenor, I'm right between 130 and 500 hertz. And so literally me and that conga could be living in the exact same tonal space, which can cause problems. As an engineer, you don't want that. You want everything to be clear and concise. If there's a vocal playing, you want to know this vocal. If there's someone on congas, you want to specifically hear them and know that it's them. So again, I'm not going to get into too much today. This is just a quick little intro to the release. The release. I will be releasing all that I know, everything that I know. This is just my tips on audio, guys. I haven't even gotten into lighting, videography, any of that stuff yet. So make sure that you are liking, you are subscribing, and that you are being a part of this community. Be a part of the release. I want to share this information with you guys, not just for myself, but for you to have, and so that you can share it to others as well. This is why I'm looking directly at you guys, because I want you guys to know how serious I am about that. The next generation is coming up, and then the generation after them is going to be coming up even faster. We don't want AI taking over every single thing that we do. Some stuff we want to be able to just share with each other by word of mouth, by lived experiences. A lot of the things that I know didn't just come from school. It came from me actually living it. It came from me being in that space where things didn't quite go as planned and you had to learn how to troubleshoot and fix it, or try to be ahead of it, which is what we're working on today, is being ahead of the show. And so just want to let you guys know that I'm here. Again, my name is Stephen Parker, if you don't know already, CEO of the E-Way. I have a few other business ventures that I'll be working on that you guys will see coming out and being released very, very soon. But until then, I want you guys to make sure that you go like and follow every single channel that is on my intro. If you guys haven't seen it, you're going to see it on the outro, and I'm going to let it play so that you can write it down and you can get yourself familiar with it so that you can become a part of this community and so that I can be able to help you and help me grow. Not just you all. I'm not here to just help you guys grow. It's helping me grow as well. And so I appreciate you all being here with me. I won't be on here long. Thank you all. Again, this has been the release, um, part one, I guess you will say. This is my first uh, live for the release, and so I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure that you go and like and subscribe. Message me. Let me know if you guys want any of those cheat sheets. Um, Message me and just say, hey, good job, or hey, your audio or your lighting looks good, or it doesn't look good. Help me improve it. Help me get things better, so that we can actually be able to live, love, and learn together. Peace.